All right, so we have the sural nerve here, which is a combination of the medial and lateral sural nerves coming together. The sural nerve comes around the lateral malleolus, innervating the skin on the lateral aspect of the foot, the lateral aspect of the ankle, and down the back of the calf. As we come towards the front here, we have two branches of the superficial peroneal or superficial fibular nerve. The superficial peroneal nerve innervates peroneus longus and brevis muscles, which are going around the lateral malleolus. This is peroneus brevis, this is peroneus longus. The superficial peroneal nerve then comes down and innervates the skin on the top of the foot. The deep peroneal nerve innervates the muscles of the anterior compartment, tibialis anterior, extensor hallucis longus, extensor digitorum longus, and peroneus tertius, before the deep peroneal nerve splits here to innervate the skin between the first and second toes in the flip-flop area. So we have sural, superficial peroneal, deep peroneal, and then I don't have a model that shows this, but there is a saphenous nerve that's coming down the shin here along the medial malleolus. Artery-wise, on the top of the foot, the only thing we have to worry about is the anterior tibial artery, which is in here, underneath anterior compartment of the leg, and that doesn't want to come out. No, there it goes. Okay. Anterior tibial artery, when it crosses the ankle, is now called the dorsal pedal artery. The dorsal pedal artery is going to get here and is going to branch into the deep plantar and the dorsal metatarsal artery. So dorsal pedal is going to give you the deep plantar and the dorsal metatarsal. There's also an arcuate artery on the top of the foot here that gives off the rest to the dorsal metatarsal arteries. So that's it for nerves and arteries on the top of the foot. We've done all the muscles and tendons, peroneus brevis, peroneus longus, except for these ones. This is the flexor digitorum brevis. This is flexor hallucis brevis, and these are dorsal interossei. We come around to the medial side. This is the muscles that make up the Achilles tendon, which are gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris. We remove those and we're looking at the posterior compartment of the leg. This is the tibial nerve and the posterior tibial artery. This is flexor hallucis longus. This is flexor digitorum longus, and tibialis posterior is deep. But as they cross here, we have tibialis posterior, flexor digitorum longus, flexor hallucis longus. We come down to the bottom of the foot. We have the abductor hallucis muscle, the abductor digiti minimi muscle, and the flexor digitorum brevis muscles in the first layer on the foot. The only nerves and arteries we really worry about on the bottom of the foot are the tibial nerve and the posterior tibial artery branching into a lateral plantar nerve and artery and a medial plantar nerve and artery. We also have common and proper plantar digital nerves, and then we're going to have a deep plantar artery as we get down below. At this level, we have the tendon of flexor digitorum longus, we have lumbricals, we have a quadratus plantae, we have the tendon of flexor hallucis longus on top of the muscle belly flexor hallucis brevis, and we have the muscle belly over here, flexor digiti minimi. We remove this layer. We have the oblique head of the adductor hallucis and the transverse head of the adductor hallucis. We go down to the next layer, and at this very deepest layer, we see the deep plantar arch is the artery. We see plantar interossei. We still have the transverse head of the adductor hallucis. We've got the long plantar ligament back here with peroneus longus muscle coming through to attach to the first metatarsal. This is the same peroneus longus muscle that we saw on the lateral aspect of the leg. So peroneus longus comes all the way underneath the bottom of the foot, coming through the long plantar ligament. This is the attachment of tibialis posterior. It's going to be directly over the top of the spring ligament, which is the plantar calcaneonavicular.